Of course, we got to uphold the law as we always do, right, Angela?
Yeah, we do.
We got limited time, so let's go.
Not a problem. So first thing first, I just want to apologize on behalf of the USA Treasury bonds. In fact, according to Internal Revenue Code Section 149, those Treasury bonds are not exempt from federal income tax, so we will.
U.S. government's not really a state, right?
Not really. But the American Samoa. Let's look at that. Section 103 of the Internal Revenue Code -A defines a state as including the District of Columbia and any possession of the United States. And the American Samoa are U.S. territory. So American Samoa is actually U.S. territory. So we believe that the $120,000 in interest accrued is exempt from federal interest.
I have heard about that Samoa place. Is it really? It is a territory, right?
I think so.
Yeah. We don't really. I think that's what the law says. That's what it says, right?
There's some support if you want to look at that.
Yeah.
Now on to the Wake Forest Medical Baptist bonds. Yep. I understand that Wake Forest is a non-profit private organization which will probably fall under, which will more than likely fall under Section 141 of private activity bonds. However, if you look at paragraph 9 of subsection B, there's an exception for qualified 501c3 bonds. And you know, one of the reasons why we have these 501c3 organizations is to encourage investment in them because they really are influential in helping out the community. And Wake Forest Medical Baptist Center is home to a hospital, it's home to a school, and obviously the Wake Forest Medical School. And it's in-depthly involved in the community. You know, they have $64 million in charity, $50 million in education, $26.9 million in research, and $6.7 million in programs that benefit the health of the community. So we believe that the total of $255,000 in interest for those bonds should be an exception as under the rules section 141B, paragraph 9.
I don't have that code section in front of me. Do you have that?
Yes, I actually do. Right here.
James, that's really your specialty. You want to take a look at that and see what you think there? You know, while she's doing that, in the interest of time, maybe we can go on to the next topic. And
not a problem. I'll bring it up to Sophie.
Angela will give her thoughts later on that.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Hi, Agent Xu. We want to discuss. I'm good. How are you?
Good.
We want to discuss the tax issue about Mr. Paul's All-Star Taxable Non-Cash Award.
All-Star.
Yeah.
Well, can I stop one second? I just want to say, Mr. Paul, I'm a big fan. I sat by Billy Crystal in the second row at the Clip games. It's awesome. I'm on a beet farm, and I got my own game a little bit.
I see there.
Whoa! Right. Just want to say I'm a fan. Okay, I'm sorry.
Appreciate it.
Go ahead.
Mr. Paul got that car from BMW, the sponsor of the 2011 All-Star Game, in recognition of his big accomplishment in March. 7 months later, my client donated the car to the NPR Vehicle Donation Program. According to Section Code 74, the gross income should include the amount as prizes and awards. So, Agent Xu, you are right. The fair market value of the car.
I didn't do this for 20 years for nothing. Right?
Great job. And the fair market value of the car, which is $110,000, should be included in the gross income. And thanks again for your great help, Mr. Paul, and I really appreciate that. As I just said, Ms. Paul donated the car to the program, which is a qualified charitable organization. And here is an acknowledgement from the program upon receiving the car.
Who did you give the car to, Mr. Paul?
I handed it over to someone at the school,
At the school?
Yeah.
Okay. Radio station here?
Yes.
Radio station.
Yes.
Radio station.
Is the radio station a charitable organization?
Yes, it is under the code 170. It is an organization who receives a great part of support from the general public. We double checked with the NPR. Their revenue mainly comes from their grants from foundations, contributions, and sponsorship from the general public. And we contact their program to confirm Mr. Paul's tax deduction.
Did they send anything to show that they were a charitable organization? Or am I just supposed to take the word for it?
We will get back the document to you then.
Okay.
Yeah, we contact the program about their tax deduction amount. They said they sold the car immediately for $85,000 on November the 20th.
$85,000?
Yes.
That's a nice car.
Yeah, it's BMW
650.
And here is 1098 Mr. Paul received from the program. So we decided to use the sales amount as Mr. Paul's 2011 charitable deduction. we will attach the Form 8283, 1098, as well as the sales receipt.
You know, I mean, that is some important documentation to have, and they didn't sell it, you know, obviously, and it's a 98C, so that seems in order. I think the only thing maybe after you could follow up just with some documentation to prove that they really are a charitable organization. I'm gonna go ahead and grant that tentatively, because otherwise they probably wouldn't be issuing the 1098Cs.
Exactly.
Right?
Thank you.
So thank you for, that makes sense to me.
All right, well, now I'd like to talk to you about the $200,000 bad loan to
The cousin.
the cousin. Yes, sir.
I wish I had family members do that. Give me $200,000.
I completely agree. Just to give you a little bit of a background of Mr. Paul, beginning in 2007, he began giving loans to other basketball players so that they could, it was kind of a business opportunity for him. A lot of basketball players didn't have access to money to make ends meet while they were advancing their career. So he saw this as a distinct business opportunity where he could come in, give them money so they could make ends meet, excuse me, while they advance their careers in basketball.
Is that something you think you'll do going forward? You really think that's a good business to loan money to athletes?
I mean, they're going over there in Europe, they're working in the mid-leagues in Europe, so they're not making that much money. They gotta, make ends meet. So, if they're really dedicated and I see a talent in them, I see that they can be successful and they have a chance to pay me back later, then that's what I'm gonna continue to do.
Where'd your cousin play ball at?
He was over in Europe, I wanna say Prague, and he,
You thought he could make it?
I thought he could make it, but he he injured himself and he never really came back from it, so he's back on here.
Okay, so anyway, here's two loans that they made, that he made back in 2007 to Deshaun Wood and Derek Myers. And in his 2011 1040 on line 12, he actually showed income from these loans under the business income. And then in 2008, which is this $200,000 loan in question, he made the same loan. I grant you that it's his cousin and it looks a little suspect, but it was distinctly for the purpose of advancing his career in basketball. And as you can see here, the intent was always to pay the loan back. So therefore, the loan was always, I guess it was a continuation of his existing business model of loaning money to basketball players. And
Paul, one question, maybe. Why didn't you try to collect from him? Because it's your cousin?
No.
Did you try to collect from these other guys?
He was injured. There was no way that he was going to be able to pay it back. He came back here and decided that he was going to go to school. So I just.
So he went to school?
He's coming back. He's interested. He's thinking about being an auditor. So.
Really? What school did he went to out of curiosity? Do you know?
Wake Forest University.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a great school.
Yeah.
You think he'd have the money to pay back that?
Yeah, well, in December of 2011, Mr. Paul was notified that his cousin was injured and wouldn't be able to pay back the loans. And also in November of 2012, he actually filed for bankruptcy. Section 166A1 of the IRC shows that it shall be allowed as any deduction, any debt which becomes worthless in the taxable year. Because the loan was an unsecured loan, Mr. Paul believed that the email served as substantive notice that the loan was wholly worthless in tax year 2011, and so we therefore believe that the full amount of $200,000 should be deductible as a bad debt deduction for tax year 2011.
It's an interesting case in sport. Obviously, one of the things I wanted to establish first is there was a loan, but I'm comfortable that there really was an intent to have a loan given the documentation and stuff. Then your next question has to be one of, is it really a business or is it not? And loaning your cousin, is it really a business? I'm a little on the fence on that. Yeah, but I understand your point.
Is that your business?
Yeah.
Well, he established a business back in 2007.
That's what you're arguing, right?
Yes.
You guys made, as an employee of the Clippers,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And then you do have to establish worthlessness. And the primary way to do that is through a bankruptcy, but that bankruptcy was in 2012. You know, just a letter, I know I'm not comfortable with just a letter in 2011 saying I'm gonna go through bankruptcy, particularly someone who's gonna go back to school, right? He's gonna have an income, he's gonna have, but bankruptcy would establish that in 2012. The real question to me really is, you know, do we feel comfortable as a business? I mean, is there any part of this that, you know, I'm a little troubled that you didn't go at, you know, it was your cousin, so you didn't really push him to repay. If it was a real business, would you always push him to repay?
There was evidence in that email that there had been evidence before that he had tried to collect and it was unsuccessful.
So he did try.
So he did try, and it just didn't work out for the cousin, and unfortunately, it just didn't pan out where the others did. But it was a business debt.
Do you think you'll do more of these loans?
Possibly in the future, depending on, you know,
If it
the
makes
terms.
good business
It
sense.
makes good business sense, you know.
I'm kind of inclined, you know, 3 loans generally wouldn't make a business, but you have a statutory pattern of wanting to be in, you know, do this. And so I can understand that. I don't think I could allow it for 2011, but I do think I could allow that for 2012.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna talk to you real quick about the non-cash contribution, and I'm aware of the IRC code, section 170. I want to agree with you that Mr. Paul did not comply with that code and properly fill out the second page of the
Talking about this for his painting?
his paying, right,
Yeah.
for the 8283 form. So he just deducted it on a Schedule A, which we know is right. And from the IRS's standpoint, I can see how you might not know if he ever owned the artwork or if it was actually contributed or what. So I have some evidence to show you that he did own the argument here. I mean the artwork.